I'm a single mom of six and I'm making it happen living out of a luxury hotel. Yep, I have to do what I have to do, and that's just what's going to be done.
You can't make this up.
Well, all of my kids and just juggling school, high school, elementary, like, come on now, this is really crazy.
Hold on, hold the brakes for a second, y'all. Do y'all recognize who that is? That's the woman that was in the homeless shelter. We did a video recently about her. She was in a homeless shelter with her kids, and she was talking crazy. So now, what this revealed is that now we see how you ended up in that situation. Because I'm guessing that this is like pre-homeless shelter. So what that could indicate is that this is how you ended up in that homeless shelter. You were staying in luxury hotels while you had no money saved and while you weren't in a good financial position. And then we wonder how you hit rock bottom. This is crazy. I'm going to get back into it, y'all. If you could like the video, though, I greatly appreciate it. It helps more than you know, and it only takes a second. And it actually does help me a lot. I know it can be easier to forget, but that's why I just wanted to remind you on the front end. So let's go ahead and get back into the clip.
Can't make this.
I have to do, and that's just what's going to be done.
You can't make this up.
Well, all of my kids and just juggling school, high school, elementary, like, come on now, this is really crazy. But I make it happen because one thing about me is I'm really resilient with what I do. I have goals, I have dreams. My kids have goals and dreams as well. And I have to be my kids' advocate. Right now, I'm at a luxury hotel, living out of it, paying about $500 every 3 days just to stay in a nice
What?
environment for me and my children. Don't ask me how I get it. Sometimes I don't even know how I get it. I just get it done. The most craziest things happen to me during the day. Miracles, signs, and wonders, and just all of my manifestations put together. And a lot of attracting and manifestations. I'm real big on that because one thing about me is I will imagine until it appears. Hello. So just for someone looking at this, never give up because
She's not imagining until it appears. In the last clip, what she was mentioning is basically she just allegedly, we'll just say that she just gets money from men, especially like she gets them to DM her money. So she wasn't imagining it, you know. But let's really just take a look at those figures for a second. She said she's staying in a luxury hotel that costs her $500 every 3 days, which if you extrapolate that throughout the week, that's over $1,000 a week. If you extrapolate that out the month, we're looking at probably over 4,500, approaching $5,000 a month. And then we wonder how we ended up in the homeless shelter. These are the self-inflicted wounds that I'm talking about. She could have easily got an apartment. Now, we don't know what her credit situation and all that type of stuff, but let's just say she could have easily got a cheaper hotel that costs less than $2,000. And then she could literally be saving and stacking $2,500 to $3,000 every month, which would then put her in a better financial position. Now, what we didn't know from the previous video with her was that she had 6 kids. That's crazy. And with that being said, by you having all that overhead of it being 7 of y'all, with you being the only single source of income, I would definitely expect you to be trying to stockpile and to be trying to hoard some of your funds and save it for a rainy day, which so you don't come down crashing and burning like it looks like post this video she ended up doing by ending up in the homeless shelter. Y'all, let's get into the next clip. Again, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it.
Slash houseless 23-year-old with an emotional support animal. So my motel room does not have a refrigerator or a microwave, so I got this cooler donated to me. Shout out to who donated it to me. And I have to dump all the water out and put new ice in that clip. It's extremely heavy.
Y'all, I'm gonna stop the video because that's copyright music that was going on in the background. But to be honest, she pretty much gave us everything we needed to know. She has a double liability. Let me explain. She's living in a motel room with an emotional support animal. So, double liability. Looks like she doesn't have kids. Thank goodness. But you still decided to adopt an dependent by having an emotional support animal. And I called it a double liability because not only does it have actual hard costs associated with it, but it's also going to have certain passive costs in that she literally called it what I say it is all the time. People are getting these animals to feel better for emotional support, i.e., you don't feel good within yourself because you're not in a stable, good position. But now, when you should be really sitting with that pain and allowing it to build up till you hit a certain threshold, and then guess what happens when you hit that pain threshold? Now you take action. Things that once seemed hard, you're willing to do it now because you'll do anything in order to escape the painful situation that you're in. But instead of escaping it through action, through changing behavior, through actually taking some initiative, she's choosing to escape it through snuggling up with an emotional support animal.
Guess now, since all the funding and all that's being cut for Section 8 and food stamps and people are trying to get rid of it, I'm going to have to say goodbye to my 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. That means I won't get to hang out in my jacuzzi instead of going to work, and I only pay $300 a month for this place. Y'all know how ridiculous that is, that I'm going to have to go get a job and I won't be able to rely on Section 8 to live in my little mansion I got going on over here? Y'all need to figure it out, because this ain't
Trump signed an executive order to stop Section 8 housing. I know a lot of people are about to be mad about this one, but it's not anything that I'm doing, so don't be mad at me. Don't be hating on my page. But President Trump signed an executive order to stop Section 8 housing because he believes that more people are able to work that try to live off the government. And I'm very curious to hear what TikTok has to say about this one. But I've been seeing the videos all day, and a lot of the like that's not gonna happen, blah blah. But I mean, unfortunately, like it's tax dollars. That's actually what's paying for Section 8 housing. So, yeah, just wanted to put the word out there, let you guys hear about it, and very, like I said, very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this.
So let's pan back because she wasn't really talking about much, but let's pan back to what Jacuzzi lady was talking about because she said a lot. She said a mouthful, and she said pretty much what we already know. She doesn't want to work, right? She even mentioned the fact that she wants to be able to just sit in the jacuzzi all day of her what she called a mansion, and we need to figure it out. She said we need to figure something out. And that's the sentiment of a lot of people. When they put themselves in certain situations, somebody else needs to come figure out their situation and they need to come solve it. They need to come solve their problem. Kind of like what a man is supposed to do, right? If, ladies, if you have a man, most likely you want that man to have certain leadership qualities and certain problem solving qualities, right? You don't want your man coming to you at the end of the month when there's an eviction notice on the door saying, baby, what are we going to do? You want him to figure it out, right? So now what government assistance, it appears, has done is it makes people just feel like taxpayers are supposed to become their man. You hear that all the time. You want government to be your daddy or whatever. I've never said it, but I see it a lot. And now it's starting to get a little bit more, it's starting to get validated a little bit more when you hear people literally just expressing it like that, saying it just outright. Like, what are y'all going to do to solve this, fix my situation? When it's clear as well that she looks like she's also able-bodied and that there's nothing wrong with her that should be preventing her from working. And apparently she's got tons of time because she can chill in the jacuzzi. So it's very egregious, but we'll leave it there for today. Y'all, if you could like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, it only takes a second. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, the more that you hype, the more that it pushes us smaller content creators the same way that it pushes the larger content creators and gives us more visibility. So if you hit the hype button, just like you hit the like button, it'll show you the points. But if you can't find it, it's fine. If you could just like, that helps nonetheless. And then Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.